Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Grace. Thank you for clicking on this video. If this is the first time you're seeing my beautiful face, please do not make it your last. Consider subscribing. Is that red button down below? So just tap on it and turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified each time I post a new video. Guess what? By the title you already know, this is another book review series. Or is it book review episode? Okay, another book review episode. So in this episode of our book review series, I have two other books I've reviewed. So if you are interested in book reviews, find the playlist on my channel. So the book we are going to be reviewing is Stay With Me. So this is Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. This book, okay, let me take it step by step. Anyway, our rules still remain the same, no spoilers. So I'm just going to tell you what the book is about without, of course, giving you spoilers. So this book is about a woman called 𝘄𝗶𝘁𝗵. 𝘄𝗶𝘁𝗵 was married to a man for a while, and all they wanted was a child, but they couldn't have a child. There were pressures from the family. They really wanted a child, and 𝘄𝗶𝗁 was not getting pregnant. So after a couple of years, her stepmother brought in a second wife for her husband. 𝘄𝗶𝗁 and her husband love each other so much. They've been together for a long while before they got married. So she didn't understand why the husband agreed for his mother to get him a second wife, and she felt very betrayed because she didn't exactly have a wonderful childhood. She lost her mom when she was little, and she was raised by her dad and her stepmom, so life has not exactly been easy for her. She had always felt lonely, and when she met her husband felt like her everything, and she revolved her life way around her husband. And so, learning that her husband, the mother coming into the house with the second wife made her very pissed. She was pissed, she was jealous, she was sad. She couldn't understand why, because they had tried a lot of things. They've gone to places of worship, they've tried the traditional way, they've gone to the hospital, they've tried a lot of things just to get a child, and they were not able to get a child. This book just speaks a lot about the troubles many women that want to have children but can't are going through, and she just felt very down. She was kind of holding up the fact that she didn't have any child for her husband, but when they came with the second wife, she lost it, and it felt like everything she was doing was not enough. She wanted to do even more to give her husband a child. That was all she wanted. She just wanted to give her husband a child, and it was very sad how it played out. And the husband had to start sharing himself. Today he's with this one, tomorrow he's with this one, and she had never been in that situation where her husband was not, she's the husband's world and everything. She felt like the husband is her all in all. So it was it's a very sad it was a very sad experience for her, and you'll be surprised that when she finally had a child, it didn't solve the problem because the child died. No, this book will make you cry. If you're a crybaby like me, you will cry. My friend recommended this book. I was reading it. When I got to, I think, chapter 3 or so, I can't even remember, I had to call him and I'm like, why did you recommend this book to me? It's so sad. It's so sad. But then it's the reality. It's actually the reality, because people that really want children, they really want children, and that's all they want. They really go through a lot, especially the pressure from the society, from family, from their husbands, and it just made me even angrier that they assumed that 𝘄𝗶𝗁 was the reason why they could not have a child. And that's the problem we have in our society these days. When the family does not have a child, the husband and the wife, they just assume that the problem would be from the woman. The chances are very slim that somebody would think that the man is the reason why maybe this family can have a child, the woman is always the first person that will be like, what did you do in your youth? Did you do any abortion? Like, why are we not having children? Why don't you want to give us grandchildren? You know, all of those things. So Yejide passed through a lot. She went through a lot, and it was crazy. And then when she finally had her first child, which was like all she wanted to have, the child died. So it's a very traumatizing situation, to be honest. But the good thing is that she had another child, so that was a good thing. But then it was just a roller coaster. I don't want to give you any spoilers. There's no spoilers in our book review, so we're just going to just discuss it on the surface, and then you can go ahead and read it. When you read it, then we can now discuss about it. But overall, the writer Adebayo, Ayobami Adebayo, she's a Nigerian writer. This is a Nigerian fictional book, and the way the story was written was actually well written. The pages is just it ends at 282 pages. So the good thing about this book is, in the midst of all the chaos, the craziness, the sadness, the trauma, the book ended well. So yeah, it didn't just make me sad and then come to the end and then break me to pieces. No, it didn't do that. It actually ended well. It's actually a good book. And one thing I learned from the book, there are always morals, lessons from any book that I read. I always try to pick moral lessons. What I learned from this book is that, sometimes when you feel like you need something so bad and that thing is going to solve your problem, when you finally get that thing, you want another thing. Does that make sense? It's just like when you say, oh, I really need a car. I really need a car. Oh my God, I really need a car. And then you finally get a car. God blesses you with a car. And then your next prayer point is, oh, this car is always giving me problems. It's always breaking down. Oh, I need money to buy fuel. Like, problems are endless. That's just the truth. So if you have that feeling that, oh, if I can get this thing, I'm going to be totally fine, the chances is quite slim. You might or you might not be, but it's just for a while, and then you want to get another thing again. So for Yejide, it was just having a child. That was all she wanted, and she could do anything, everything and anything just to have a child, because like I explained, she had a very lonely childhood, and she felt like having a child of her own was going to be having a child of her own with the man that she loved is going to be like the best thing that has happened to her. She's going to finally have her own family, because she did not consider her father's wives, that's her stepmoms, as family. She felt like they were just there. They didn't really care about her. Her father didn't really care about her as much as she wanted. He was not there for her the way she wanted him to be there for her. So her loving husband and her child or her children and her was just her escape to live the life of her dream. And unfortunately, she was not able to experience that on time, but at the end she was able to get back together, and it was just a happy ending at the end. So that's a good one. So my rating, I'll give this book a 9/10. It's a really good book, but it really made me cry. It has lots of moral lessons. It really kept me glued to the pages. I was like, what is going on? So go ahead and read this book. I got this copy from 𝗄𝗰𝘁 Heights, which is where I normally get my books from. So you can check out 𝗄𝗰𝘁 Heights or any other bookstore around you. Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. I've forgotten the price I got this book, so I'm going to leave it on the screen. I'm going to check my receipt and leave it on the screen. So yeah, that's pretty it for this book. Have you read this book? If you have, please leave a comment and let's just discuss a little bit about it without giving spoilers to other people that have not read the book. So yeah, if you enjoyed this book review, please check out other book reviews I have on my channel, and also give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.